Because as a U.S. national, I have rights protected by the U.S. Constitution and the Supreme Court. I travel not for business and commerce. I just...
Same thing, same thing.
If the Mr. Williams in front of us does not admit that the ticket is in his name, is made out to him, I'd ask that the Mr. Williams on the ticket be given a warrant and that this gentleman be removed so we can continue with court.
I'm trying to resolve them, but I'm being threatened.
All right, guys. Today we've got one of the dumbest sovereign citizens I've ever seen. This dude somehow managed to rack up 17 tickets from a single traffic stop, and he's out here acting like he's not even the one in court. Seriously, how does that even happen? But in the end, the judge completely shuts him down, so you definitely don't want to miss that. In the meantime, let me know what you guys think. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think this clown's IQ is? Because after watching this, I'm giving him a solid 2. But let's go ahead and dive in.
Count 1, drove while license suspended. Count 2, open alcohol in a motor vehicle. Count 3, no insurance misdemeanor. Count 1, open intoxicants in a vehicle driver. Count 2, furnish false forged info to police officer. Driver's license never acquired. Count 1. Count 2, no insurance misdemeanor. Count 3, drive unregistered untitled vehicle. Count 1, open alcohol in a motor vehicle driver. Count 2, tinted windows. Count 3, operator or front seat passenger failed to wear a safety belt. Count 1, drive unregistered untitled vehicle. Count 2, if that same ticket is drove while unlicensed. 17
different citations. This dude is out here collecting them like Pokemon cards. I swear, he might actually be the final boss of sovereign citizens. I'm not even sure he can count to 17, but somehow, he managed to rack up 17 violations like it was an achievement or something. But that's enough roasting. Let's go ahead and dive in to see what this sovereign citizen has to say for himself.
Aaron Ruck on behalf of Mr. Timothy Williams. Mr. Williams, state your name.
I object to counsel.
What was that?
I object to counsel.
Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Williams. He's saying it's not him, and he's all rights reserved. His name is all in all capital.
I object to representation.
What was that, sir?
I object to representation by you.
Okay. So you would like to represent yourself, Mr. Williams?
I'm not representing myself. I'm just here on special appearance, trying to clear this matter.
Okay, so you have to be the person in order to clear these matters. You just can't appear on behalf of someone unless you're an attorney. Are you an attorney, Mr. Williams?
I'm not the person, but I'm the live living Williams, not the Timothy Williams.
Are you Timothy Tally Williams? Do you know Timothy Tally Williams?
I am Timothy Williams, the living, breathing Timothy Williams, not the all cap that says on my ticket.
Okay. All right. So do you want to try and resolve these today or no?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So you need an offer? Is that what I'm hearing you say? Because we can try and resolve all these tickets today if you want to.
Well, I'm just, because as a U.S. national, I have rights protected by the U.S. Constitution and the Supreme Court.
Oh yeah, because the US Constitution totally gives you the right to commit crimes and then pretend you don't exist in court. Makes perfect sense, right? These sovereign citizens really think that just because their name is in all caps on a ticket, it magically doesn't apply to them. Somebody please make it make sense. If any of you actually understand what this guy is talking about, let me know in the comments, because I'm lost. They act like the court is just going to let them walk free by spouting some sovereign citizen nonsense. But guess what? That's just not a thing. Courts have shut this down a million times. Just ask the judges from United States versus Harwell or United States versus Cooper. These people honestly need to be sent to a deserted island or something, because at this point, they're just mocking the legal system. Whether they call themselves US nationals or sovereign citizens, it all boils down to the same thing. They just don't want to be held accountable for their actions. But what do you guys think? Is this dude actually for real? Or is he just playing dumb to get out of his tickets? Let's dive back in.
If you travel, drive, ride, anything on the city streets of Detroit, then you have to follow the rules that the city of Detroit has imposed. And so if you have not followed these rules, then you receive something called tickets. And these tickets are given to you based on the license or prior license or identification ID that is given to you. So we can either resolve these today, or we don't have to resolve them. It's okay. But I would like to try and resolve these so that you can move forward and do whatever you need to do.
Yes, I would like to resolve them, but as the officer is seeing in his computer that by the Secretary of State, my ID has been rescinded, canceled. I have a passport, and I'm traveling. I don't drive. I just drive here.
Hold on, but if you drive in a vehicle, you need to have a driver's license. Your passport does not enable you the ability to be able to drive on the streets of Michigan.
I travel not for business and commerce.
Same thing. They have to have licenses as well. Have you ever heard of a truck driver without a license that drives on the commutes on the freeways, roads, or byways? It does not happen. You have to have a license to drive on the city of Detroit, state of Michigan. All 50 states are under my assumption and ability. So, Mr. Williams, I can't go back and forth. I have a lot of people on my screen. I know you can't see. We can have this discussion, but it just has to be near the end of the docket if you don't want to resolve it right now. Okay?
But for the record, Your Honor, I don't drive.
Go ahead.
For the record, I do not drive.
Okay. Your Honor. So how do you want to resolve it today? If you don't want to resolve it, I have to move to the next person, Mr. Williams.
I would like to resolve this matter.
Okay. All right. So would you like me to get you a... Yes, Attorney Snyder, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Alexa Schneider for the people, P80322. If the Mr. Williams in front of us does not admit that the ticket is in his name, is made out to him, I'd ask that the Mr. Williams on the ticket be given a warrant and that this gentleman be removed so we can continue with court.
Boom. Now, that's what I like to see. This prosecutor seriously needs to take over for a minute and handle this clown because he's acting like a total joke right now. She completely hit him with a mic drop moment. If this sovereign citizen wants to claim he's not the one on the ticket, then let's just file a warrant for the dude whose name is on it. I love when judges aren't having it with these sovereign citizen antics. I just really hope the judge takes her advice because at this rate, the docket is going to be completely backed up by the time this guy's hearing is over. But what do you guys think? Did she go too far? Or was this exactly what needed to happen?
Mr. Williams, on these tickets?
Excuse me?
I said, is it you, Mr. Williams, on these tickets? Because that's fair. That means that I'm talking to someone who doesn't have these tickets in my courtroom, and so that person has not appeared. But I'm assuming that it's you. Are these your tickets, sir?
If you assume, yes.
Oh. So do you want to, Mr. Williams, do you want to resolve these or not? We can't keep going back and forth. You want to take care of these today with some type of plea or no?
I'm trying to resolve them, but I'm being threatened by imprisonment if I don't agree to these tickets.
Who's going to send you to prison? I'm not sending anybody to prison today. I'm fining people. That's all I'm doing. I'm giving them fines, monetary fines.
The prosecutor just said she issued a warrant. She recommended a warrant be issued.
Right, but you're not going to get arrested. But she's saying if you're not going to say that you're the person on these tickets. Mr. Williams, I have 20 people. I can't argue with you at the beginning of the docket. I can argue with you at the end of the docket. So I'm going to skip over this matter so we can continue. Let me get everybody else out. Then I'm going to give you all the time in the world, and we're going to figure out what to do with you today, okay? I don't mind taking the time, but I got all these other people on here who are looking like, come on now, okay? So just give me a moment.
So now this idiot has to wait 3 more hours just to be heard again. What a way to spend her day, right? But this next part is pure gold because the judge literally starts talking to him like he's a 5-year-old, breaking it down step by step like she's explaining how to tie his shoes. Honestly, it's like watching a kid get told no by their mom. But this guy is acting like he's in some huge legal battle. Let's go ahead and dive in and watch the rest of this sovereign citizen meltdown.
On the matter of the people versus Timothy Talley Williams, these matters were called on the record previously. I took a moment off. We had quite a busy docket this morning, and I want to make sure that we could give Mr. Williams adequate amount of time to be able to have all of his questions answered about the matters that are before this court today. Appearances for the record, starting with the city attorney, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alexa Schneider for the people, P80322.
All right. He continues to not want counsel. Is that correct, Mr. Williams?
Correct.
Okay. Can you state your name for the record, please?
Timothy
Last name?
Williams.
Okay, sir, now you've had the opportunity to sit and look and see how everything pans out and how everything works, Mr. Williams, right? Did you want to be presented with an offer today, or how do you want to move forward?
Well, the offer was to get all this.
So the offer was, I think, so he had some extra cases, Attorney Snyder. So it was FTD, failed to display a valid operator's license, and an open alcohol passenger that was being offered in exchange. He did have a couple of tickets in default, another open intoxicant driver, Attorney Snyder, and it was forged or false police information to a police officer. He may have just given him like a ID that expired. But if you plead to those two cases, the remainder of your cases will be dismissed.
No, I was talking about the agreement between me and you was to get this sorted out today. That's,
right. So so the options are, so these are your options. You can ask for a pretrial. That'll give you some time to get documents together and to get everything back in order and then present it to the court. You can ask for a bench trial. That's a trial before myself as the trier and finder of facts. Every single one of these officers who have made these allegations would have to appear on that date and come into court. Or you can ask for a jury trial. That's when the officers is in person. 6 citizens of the city of Detroit will make the decision based on the law. Officers still have to come in. You will have to come in at that point in time, and then we can resolve it that way. Those are the three, or you can plead guilty or plead responsible at this point in time. To the offer that has been extended to you. Those are the 4 things that we can do to resolve it today. And I guess the 5th one is if you don't want to do any of those, then it just remains as is and it just remains there. And then eventually it goes into warrant status.
Yeah.
All right, so I said,
rights, and I don't understand what's going on, so.
Okay. I don't know if they'll be able to help you. I really wish you would let us assign some counsel to you. They may be able to talk to you and help you understand a little bit better.
I tried, but he not listening, so I was just taking them on hands.
All right. Sometimes you have to be willing to understand that they're going to give you the law, not necessarily what you're following, but the law that we practice in the state of Michigan.
I have no contract. If I have no contract with the Secretary of State, then like, why am I being took for this? I'm going through the proper procedure to have my rights protected under the Constitution and Supreme Court. So,
Of Michigan?
Of Michigan, what?
No, I'm saying the Supreme Court of what jurisdiction? Michigan or the United States of America?
United States of America.
Wrong answer, buddy. The Constitution literally gives states the power to handle civil matters like traffic violations and citations under the 10th Amendment. That's right. States have the authority to pass and enforce laws, even if you think you're magically exempt because of some sovereign citizen nonsense. And let's not forget the full faith and credit clause, which says states must honor each other's public records, like, oh, I don't know, traffic tickets. I guarantee this dude has no clue about any of this. They definitely don't teach this kind of stuff in YouTube law school, that's for sure. But do you guys think this sovereign citizen genuinely believes he found a loophole, or is he just delusional enough to buy into his own nonsense?
All right, they wouldn't have jurisdiction over local matters though, and that's gonna be the problem. You're gonna run into every time, Mr. Williams, that local matters are held. The Constitution extends the right for us to locally handle certain matters, such as ordinance violations, misdemeanors, driving offenses.
Right, so if I'm not a U.S. citizen, I'm a U.S. national, what jurisdiction does that fall under? I'm not a resident or a U.S. citizen.
Oh, you don't live in the United States of America?
I live in the United States of America, but not under the jurisdiction.
So that's your resident. Are you born, like, do you have you said you have a passport, is the United States of America passport?
United States of America, but not the United States, the federal territory.
Oh, you didn't get so you don't have like a federal passport given to you. It's not a passport issued by the United States of America.
It is. Now my status is.
That's going to wrap up this nonsense for now. This dude decided to take his case to a pretrial, so we'll definitely be seeing him again because apparently he thinks he's some kind of legal genius. Honestly, though, Pushing these arguments with a straight face? This guy has got to be mentally ill. The judge was actually pretty lenient with him, and I kind of think she could have shut him down way earlier. In my opinion, she gave him way too much room to keep talking, especially with all that sovereign citizen nonsense. A stronger judge probably would have cut him off the second he started rambling about how traffic laws don't apply to him, because spoiler alert, they do. I think the judge should have been a little more no-nonsense because all that waiting around just gave him a bigger stage to embarrass himself. Then again, maybe that was the plan, let him dig his own grave. Good for entertainment, sure, but a total waste of the court's time. But what do you guys think? Was the judge too weak? Or did she play it smart by letting him make a fool of himself? Let me know in the comments. I post every single day, so stay tuned for more crazy court hearings just like this one. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you all so much. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.